Hello, my name is Nurul Afla binti Suhaimi. My student ID is 202-112-5305. Introduction. Every student is required to participate at least one sport activity at school under the One Student One Sport policy. The national education philosophy which aspire to generate academically, spiritually, emotionally, and physically balanced human beings is supported by this policy. As a result of this policy, every student will be active involved throughout the year by participating in the school sport event. Sport for all activities are critical in developing the health, personality, and well-being for all students. Under Young Talent Program, school high performance sport and other sport that the school can offer, the performance of talented potential pupils must be further enhanced. As a result, every student's participation in athlete is critical as a platform for supporting One Malaysia ambition to be healthy, active, dynamic, and united. This is to ensure that one's health always maintained because one's health is an asset in one's life. Every student will be actively involved in school sport activity throughout the year because of this policy. This policy is consistent with the National Sport Policy for Community Sport Development and should be implemented at school level using two strategies: Sport for All and Sport for Excellence.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Atira Sofia binti Muhammad Zain. My ID number is 2021111211. So today I will talk about the policy problem of One Student One Sport policy. So the One Student One Sport policy has generated much positive and negative feedback. Malaysians believe that the active participation of students, especially in sport, will have a negative impact on their academic performance. Indeed, some people think that athlete students do not have enough time to revise lessons. The next problem is parents also don't understand the concept of One Student One Sport and lack cooperation in ensuring student attendance for sport activities. Parents who are not supportive because of the costs that need to be removed due to long period of sport home training sessions. This results in the implementation of the program One Student One Sport was poorly received when it was done in the afternoon. Hence, the weakness of this policy also exists among the students and teachers of the school itself. Other than that, many college students assume that the co-curricular sports are insignificant waste of variety of time. The regulation of college students involved in extracurricular sports are similarly pressured with the managing of imperfect programs. For example, there are sports on co-curricular days simply carried out via way of means of companies of college students who are green without tracking from the lecturer involved. As a result, college students are interested by attractive and do now no longer have sportsmanship. Next, the main objective. Main objective of One Student One Sport policy is able to develop human capital through the comprehensive participation of students in one sport activities throughout the year. Through the concept of One Student One Sport policy can also cultivate a sport culture and healthy lifestyle among children and students. In addition, the One Student One Sport policy can provide access to all students to benefit from sport and can use this concept as one way to use sport as a platform to strengthen the national curriculum. First and foremost, the main objective of this One Student One Sport policy established is because to improve physical fitness. Everyone knows that about the importance and benefit of exercising. Not only can make the body healthier, exercise can also help you have a better mood. Physical activity and exercise are two very important things in our life. Everyone, no matter children, adult or senior, needs to do regular physical activity for better health. Next, to forming personality, identity, discipline and virtue to students, sport activity is not only to keep the body healthier, sport also can establish the personality, identity and also the virtue of a student. Personality is a matter that is taken into the life of human being as well as students. Personality can be judged from a person wear. In this One Student One Sport policy, we need to follow the dress code during sport, which is to wear a sports shirt, track pants and look neat. Last but not least, One Student One Sport policy also can create a healthy school culture. One of the main objectives of this policy is to make a school that is physically and mentally healthy. This is said so because when we exercise, not only our body is healthy and free from disease, but we can also get rid of the stress we face while in class. We can also take a break from doing schoolwork or homework and focus on sport.
Actor involved the policy program or activity. The most recent Minister of Youth and Sport, Datuk Sri Ahmad Faizal Azumu, has been in office since August 30, 2021. He is a member of the Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia, PPBM, a Malaysian political party bersatu yang berhormat Senator Datuk Sri T. Lian Ker, a former Deputy Minister of National Unity in the National Alliance Government of Yang Amat Berhormat Tan Sri Datuk Haji Muhyiddin bin Haji Mat Yassin, assistant him. National Sport Council of Malaysia, NSC. The Malaysian Government National Sport Council, NSC, is part of the Ministry of Youth and Sport. It is a significant agency entrusted with establishing a comprehensive sport culture for the country, having been founded in 1972. National Sport Institute. Yang Berhormat Khairi Jamaluddin, Ministry of Youth and Sport, established a podium program, a high performance program for chosen athletes on February 2, 2016 in preparation for the Asia Games, Commonwealth Games and Olympic Games. Ahmad Shafawi Ismail on January 8, 2022. Ahmad Shafawi Ismail, Director General of the National Sport and Council, NSC, came up to discuss some of the National Sport Council problem. The National Sport Council is currently dealing with an incident problem as a result of the minister failed to get a now allocation, which has resulted in the mass dismissal of national athletes. In addition to his comment, Ahmad Shafawi Ismail made 8 recommendations to help improve the situation. Among the suggestions put forward by him is that the Ministry of Youth and Sport, KBS, should find new financial source to finance sport development. Gambling tax, which is partially channeled to sport development, should also be increased. The government should introduce corporate tax relief for athlete sponsorship, sport event and sport development in general to encourage contribution from the private sector. KBS should enhance the capacity of the National Athlete Welfare Foundation. MACE program, career and education of Malaysian athletes should be strengthened to create a better sport career and post sport ecosystem for athletes. KBS should also further expand the track program introduced during the PH administration. KBS and National Sport Association needs to implement prudent spending strategy, and lastly, KBS should encourage the development of professional sport clubs capable of uniting sport talent in while attracting private investment. Ahmad Shaberi Chick. Ahmad Shaberi Chick has adapted sport development to what is going on in the globe, and he has proposed that Malaysia promote sport as an enterprise. This will allow sport in this country to expand further, as well as sportsmen and those involved in sport to earn a higher wage. Making sport into an industry is not a new concept. It has been done for decades in both development and developing countries. The year 2030 has been designed as the year of the sport industry, with a variety of event planned. The value of this industry is becoming more widely recognized and embraced in Malaysia. Sheikh Sadiq Sheikh Abdul Rahman on July 2, 2018. He was named Ministry of Youth and Sport, succeeding Khairi Jamaluddin, who had held the position for 3 years. Sheikh Sadiq, as Minister of Youth and Sport, seek to decrease Malaysian voting age or ability to vote from 20 to 80 years. He won it complete before the general election on November 15. He has acknowledged, however, that a political exposed program for Malaysia youth is necessary. Former UMNO Youth Vice Chairman Khairul Azwan Harun agreed with Sheikh Sadiq that an 80 years old is old enough to participate in politics.
Implementation strategy. This exercise was carried out to determine the level of implementation one sport one student policy among secondary school teachers, with variation in implementation one student one sport policy based on gender and school category, as well as the existing relationship which is built on talents, knowledge, commitment, and sporting facility. Likewise, infrastructure-based facility and equipment must be appropriate and safe in order to carry out activity under the school sport program or choose a venue outside of the school. The One Sport One Student policy, which requires students to participate in at least one sort of sport in an MOA effort aimed at encouraging healthy living and thinking.
Evaluation on the effectiveness of the policy using SWOT analysis. This analysis aims to identify the effectiveness in the policy of the One Student One Sport policy using SWOT analysis, namely strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. The effectiveness of the One Student One Sport policy program in terms of strength show excellent effectiveness due to the cooperation of all parties according to what has been said. According to the original goal to achieve all the objectives in the sustainability of the program. When this policy is launched, then of course the government expect good feedback. As a result, when the program runs smoothly with the cooperation of all parties, such as the government, school teachers, parents, and students, the effectiveness of this policy can make the government coordinate national sport policy to cultivate sport in life as important as education. For example, school that holds sport program can also increase effectiveness by providing essential items for sport at school. Next, in terms of weakness, it shows that the government must always organize a good strategy to renew the policy of the One Student One Sport program. This is because if the government is not sensitive to the problem faced by the student in the program, such as easily bored of sport, not right technique for sport, lack of support from parents, The government also need to inform parents more clearly about the concept and the goal of the One Student One Support policy program, so that they can see the effectiveness and benefit of this policy. In addition, in terms of opportunities, there are various opportunities that we can see in the policy of the One Student One Sport program. Not only able to achieve objective and the excellent in sport, but also able to dig out talent in this field. The closest example that we can see is the athlete who glorify and enhance the image and the name of our country, which is to represent the National Olympic Games. Many make the assumption that sport cannot go far, unlike academic subjects that have a bright future. In school, at least students need to follow one sport person to develop human capital in the comprehensive participation of students in the activities of the sport activities throughout the year. We can see the effectiveness of these opportunities from the factor influencing the policy of these sport activities. For example, PIBG meeting to give evidence to parents about the benefit of the sport or activities to students. Furthermore, the analysis of this effectiveness of the One Student One Sport policy program is threat, which are the challenge that need to be faced by the government whose parties are involved. When students have become athletes, they do not have enough time to review subject. But that is not an excuse for someone to want to success. In addition, students do not get support from parents in these sport activities. So, good environment and weather can also affect the effectiveness in sport. That is when students are not comfortable with the training place, will cause their performance to decline. In addition, there are also external influences that cause students to be lazy in sports, such as want to play mobile phone, or peer who invite to hang out, spend time in vain. Finally, the evaluation of this effectiveness overall from this analysis can be concluded that the sport policy can foster a sport culture so that they become members of society with an active, balanced and healthy lifestyle. Not only active in academic studies, but also focusing on the One Student One Sport policy program.
Recommended based on evaluation. A recommendation that can be made based on SWOT analysis evaluation is to plan the implementations management of this One Student One Sport policy to identify, design, build, organize, schedule and produce activity in the program carried out. Furthermore, the government must also increase the monitoring of policy implementations in order to achieve the strategies made and evaluate the success of the effectiveness of sport activity implemented. Improvement measures also need to be increased every year to ensure the sustainability of the One Student One Sport policy runs smoothly. Evaluation is made to get feedback from the result of the implementation of the program and based on the activity attendance of students.
Conclusion. One of the goals of this policy is to get students participating in at least one sport through the year, with the hope and encouraging all students, even bookworm, computer gamers and couch potato, to move out of their comfort zone and become physically active. Furthermore, fresh talent will be discovered, fostered, and trained to compete at a high level as a result of this cooperation. The policy goal is to help our children develop their body and mind in a balanced way. Simultaneously, it aspires to instill health and vigor into school sport culture. The effectiveness of the one student, one sport strategy, however, is contingent on three things. First and foremost, the Education Ministry must make every effort to address the demand of school in terms of sport, facilities, and equipment. The second element is the need to expand the amount of sport period. Physical education is high valued in countries like Finland and Denmark, where education is innovative and creative. The idea of sport training and encouraging physical development has a lot of support. Third, some change to the physical education curriculum design are required in order to pique student attention and establish it as culture in their life.